Uja. Uja, do it for tuning in. And wait a minute or so before we begin. Oh, that rhymes. Oh, something is not so good over here. You can't even see me or my harp. It's a little better. Uja, do it for tuning in. Okay, one more minute. Here's some breathing. Or we're already breathing, some conscious breathing. Inhale, allowing the abdominal area to expand. Hold it for a moment. And exhale, allowing your abdominal area to contract till it's almost touching the spine. Another deep inhalation. Hold it for a moment. And exhale. Okay. All right. Uja, welcome to today's edition of Ancient African Adorations, where we are following the Neterian calendar. The Neterian calendar put out by the Temple of Amun. I restarted this journey with the musical offerings and wisdom teachings in alignment with the holy days of this calendar. And today, December 23rd, is the third day of the festival of the winter solstice, the second day of the festival of Ushet Rekhat, worship of the goddess. Yesterday we honored the goddess Ma'at, today Aset, then the 23rd, no, today's the 23rd. Yesterday we did Ma'at, today we're doing Aset, tomorrow Nebuchadnezzar, Saturday Heru, child of Aset, and then Sunday it's going to be like a procession of the goddesses. So the Ushet Rekhat instructions are in this goddess manual presented by Dr. Marta Ashby, SEMA Institute. And if you want more information on the wisdom teachings that are presented in the series, go to EgyptianYoga.com. This presentation is from the temple of AstMaataJi Temple of Divine Light Healing and Sweet Sounds, and is not affiliated with this organization other than the fact that I've been studying their publications. So I'm going to read the second paragraph to the introduction, and it answers the question, what is Ushet Rekhat? So here's the second paragraph. This is on page 7. In the movement to get close to the divine, certain images, symbols, and prayers are given by many religions. Sometimes the male image is given as the father, and sometimes the female image is given as the mother. The father image gives the impression of a loving, compassionate disciplinarian, but is sometimes perceived as being somewhat distant and detached. The mother image gives more of an impression of closeness, since a mother in human life is the closest being a child knows. The mother is the first person to be in contact with the child, as they share the same body during the pregnancy period. After birth, the mother and child remain close, as the mother nurses and nurtures the child. Thus, motherhood seems to imply a greater closeness than fatherhood, and this emotional content of the relationship is what devotional worship towards the Divine Mother emphasizes. As a closeness to the goddess develops, feelings of warmth and love emerge. These feelings are encouraged to evolve beyond a sentimental attachment to the image of the goddess through the study of her wisdom teachings. The wisdom gradually leads to an unveiling of the goddess, and the true nature of the goddess becomes revealed in all her glory. This is known as the unveiling of Aset. All right, and how timely that today is the day we honor the goddess Aset. Yeah, tomorrow never had. Another one. So let's. Why did I choose this page? Oh, okay. All right, so let's start with our opening prayers. All right, so we're going to begin with the Om Nebuchadnezzar Capita Asar Om. That is, Nebuchadnezzar is the all-encompassing divinity that came forth as Capita, the creator of the gods and goddesses, the cosmic forces of nature, and then also came forth as Asar in the human form of Asar. And Asar represents the soul, the divine soul, the universal soul. It represents us on our journey. The journey of Asar is the journey of each one of us. Om Nebuchadnezzar Capita Asar Om. 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 Sybil. I know, I just got started. Gonna have to wait. Oops. Okay, so we're gonna move on to Ma Pu'u Nemu Nemu, when you know Nebuchadnezzar. And this, the teachings for this chant are taken from the teachings of the Temple of Aset, from the myth of Ra and Aset. And we'll be featuring teachings from that myth during this session. So here's the first one. This is one that's offered regularly. So Ma'apu'u is the phrase that the gods and goddesses cried out when they first came upon Ra after he had been poisoned by goddess Aset. And it means, what's going on? What's going on? Ma'apu'u, Ma'apu'u. And in this song it means, no matter what's going on. And then Nemu Nemu, remain in the stillness. And then when you know Nebuchadnezzar, you know everything. Mabu Nemu Nemu Mabu Nemu Nemu. No matter what's going on, remain in the stillness. No matter what's going on, remain in the stillness. No matter what's going on, remain in the stillness. No matter what's going on, remain in the stillness. When you know Nebuchadnezzar, you know everything. 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 Nope, not right now. Okay, now the four great truths. Let me recite the translation first. And you can find the four great truths in many of the publications by Sema Institute. I usually refer to the prayer manual. It has lots of good information. I think I would know what page it's on now. Here we go. So here is the devotional manual. The translations. Number 1. The Neter, the Supreme Being, is one and alone and is Nebuchadnezzar, manifesting everywhere and in all things in the form of gods and goddesses. Number 2, lack of righteousness brings fetters to the personality, and these fetters lead to ignorance of the divine. Number 3, devotion to the divine leads to freedom from the fetters of Set. And number 4, the practice of the Sheti disciplines leads to knowing oneself as a divine. This is called being true of speech. And the practices of the Sheti discipline are, do they have them right here? Well, the practices are for Ua meditation, Ushet devotion, Rekhat, the study of the teachings, and Ma'at Ari, selfless service. Anataru, Nevajedim, Netaru. On my odds, we sell you said, say, come in. Say what you say, not fool, inside you said. Ushet Rekhat Makeru. Anataru, Nevajedim, Netaru. On my odds, we sell you said, say, come in. Say what you say, not fool, inside you said. Ushet Rekhat Makeru. Anataru, Nevajedim, Netaru. On my odds, we sell you said, say, come in. Say what you say, not fool, inside you said. Ushet Rekhat Makeru. Anataru, Nevajedim, Netaru. On my odds, we sell you said, say, come in. Say what you say, not fool, inside you said. Ushet Rekhat Makeru. Yeah. I'm going to change this one. Go to the next one. There we go. Kind of slow. Okay. There we go. And now we're going to move into the section for Goddess Aset. Those were the introductions. And we're going to begin with Invocation to Goddess Aset. And this again is taken from the prayer manual. Next, invoke the presence of Goddess AstMaataJi, who is the embodiment of wisdom and inner discovery of the divine. Aset is the mother of the universe, and she herself veils her true form as a supreme transcendental self. This veil of ignorance is only due to ignorance. Therefore, pray for Aset to make her presence known, which bestows instant revelation of her true form. This unveiling is a metaphor symbolizing the intuitional revelation of the divine or enlightenment in your mind. Aset is in your heart and only needs to be revealed. However, she can only reveal herself to the true aspirant, one who is devoted to her, the self, and her alone. Aset says, I, Aset, am all that has been, all that is or shall be, and no mortal man has ever unveiled me. The invocatory prayer to Aset. O benevolent Aset, who protected her brother Asar, who searched for him without wearying, who traversed the land in mourning and never rested until she had found him. She who afforded him shadow with her wings and gave him air with her feathers, who rejoiced and carried her brother home. She who revived what was faint from the weary one, who received his seed and conceived an heir, and nourished him in solitude while no one knew where he was. Aset saith, I have come to be a protector unto thee. I waft unto thee air for thy nostrils, and the north wind which cometh forth from the god Tem unto thy nose. I have made whole for thee thy windpipe. I make thee to live like a god. Thine enemies have fallen under thy feet. I have made thy word to be true before Nut, and thou art mighty before the gods. Okay. Now the speech of Aset, which I just read a translation of an English, and then I have another translation that's a little deeper. Merujayan ast, ayunim sakay, unen akenafu, feke mekichu, inshare afuke, partim temu, second iron K, haiti afuke. Eri ina NKM Neterian, give to you care to dedicate, say makeru, ke you mutsetu, maneteru. Merujayan ast, ayunim sakay, unen akenafu, feke mekitu, inshare afuke, partim temu, zekina inke, haiti afuke, Ediana NKM Neterian, give to you care to dedicate, say makeru, ke you mutsetu, maneteru. One more time. Merujayan ast, ayunim sakay, unen akenafu, feke mekitu, inshare afuke, partim temu, second iron K, haiti afuke. Ediana NKM Neterian, give to you care to dedicate, say makeru, ke you mutsetu, maneteru. Now let's read the more enhanced translation. These words are spoken by Goddess Aset. I come to you in the role as your protector. I blow from me to you the liberating and rejuvenating air from the north with fullness of consciousness, which cleanses your nose to the nostrils for your body. This air comes in the form of the god Temu, who is in the north, which is the spirit essence of Ra, the source and sustenance of all life, and the successful completion of the spiritual journey. I've collected the pieces of your throat for you so that you can breathe and live. I pieced your throat back together and cleared obstructions to the air from Temu that conveys the vital life force. So now you have the capacity to experience unobstructed vitality. Now you do not have internal obstructions to existing as a conscious living being. I have given to you the capacity to exist in the form of a God, and in your presence I present to you your enemies, which have fallen under your feet. So now you do not have external obstructions to existing in your divine form. By doing these things, I, the goddess of intuitional wisdom, the embodiment of wisdom, have caused for you to have a divine state in heaven, over which you have power and dominion, and all the gods and goddesses behold you. Dua Aset. Dua Sebama, Dua Sebaja. And this translation is from the myth of Ra and Aset. We will be studying some of those teachings today. All right, so here is one of the teachings presented in the scripture. And it's from the very first line of the scripture. And it's about the dual consciousness of divinity of Nebuchadnezzar. And we also have a dual consciousness, or have the potential for dual consciousness. So the words are very simple. Neter Neterti, dual consciousness. And then Neter Neterti, absolute and creativity. And here's some of my notes. Who is the creator of itself, the creator of heaven and earth, and life force that enlivens creation, the life-giving properties in air that allow the breath of life to sustain life, the fire that enlivens everything, possessing the two eyes of Haru and Ra, the moon and the sun, time and space, transcendental and relative, physical, transcendental and insight, transcendental insight and relative, absolute, physical, non-physical. And that's from the scripture. And that book is right here. Oh, there it is. I don't want to knock over the microphone. The Mysteries of Ra and Isis, Ra and Aset, where he has the entire scripture, which is like several feet long, if I recall correctly. Let's see if it has it in there. Where would it be? Does it say in this? No, I don't have it right offhand how long the scripture is, but it's 100 and something for 115 verses, 18 verses. So anyway, so Neterian Neterti. Neterti, dual consciousness. Neterti, dual consciousness. Neterti, absolute creativity. Neterti, absolute creativity. Neterti, dual consciousness. Neterti, dual consciousness. Neterti, absolute creativity. Neterti, absolute creativity. AstMaataJi. To consciousness. Neterian. To consciousness. Neterian. Absolute creativity. Neterian. Absolute creativity. Okay. Wisdom teachings from the Temple of Aset. Okay, this is a fun one. So after the introduction of Neterian, the teachings go on to talk a little bit about the history of Goddess Aset. And unless you study the scriptures, you don't really understand that she started out as just a regular lady. She was just a regular lady. Actually, she was born into creation as a lady. She was already a goddess born into creation to have all these experiences. And when she was born, she forgot her divinity. And this is the experience where she transformed herself from her lower self into her higher self. She became a goddess. And she leaves instructions for us to do the same. That's why this scripture is so powerful and so amazing. So on page 82 of that book, page 82, volume 4, I had that down first. Let's see what that is about. Been having some trouble with the cursor on this, so I might have given up on it and just went on to the next book. I think that's what happened. I'll try. Okay. I think this comes at the end. Yes, I believe that will come at the end. Yes, that's later. Okay, good. All right. So back to the myth of Ra and Aset. So this talks about how Aset was at the beginning of the myth. And you know me, I like to sing even though it's just English. So let me go ahead and blow this up so I can see it better. Because I was just going to read it, but that's boring. I had started to write a song for it a while ago, and I put it down. So here we go. I got the first 2 lines. Oh, that's a good. Oh, I could use that same melody. Here comes Aset in the form of a physical woman. It's not the right key. That's it. Here comes Aset. Too fast. In the form of a physical woman who is also an expert in the subject of writings and teachings about worldly subjects. With all that understanding about heart was disappointed, even sick and disgusted about the millions of manifestations called human beings. Their activities and futile pursuits. After evaluating the prospect of living life as an ordinary human being, she became dispassionate and disillusioned about that. She considered her options of millions of gods and goddesses as a better option. After she made assessment of that option, she then reconsidered. What about the millions of enlightened sages and saints? What if instead of being an ordinary mortal woman, she were to be like them, not being spiritually ignorant in the heavenly plane? That's interesting. I think I like that. Yes, up until today, I'd only gotten the here comes Aset in the form of a physical woman, and I hadn't gotten past that, so there was a little block there. Okay, so the next part. The next part, I have to read the translation directly from the book. I didn't type it out. Or maybe that was the translation. Okay. I think it is. There's the translation. Page 37. Yeah, that was the translation. Awesome. Okay, cool. So I read the translation, saying the English translation. And now, let's see how it sounds in the Matter Netter. I'm just going to play the same music. That would be the Aset music. Great awakenings, good rising, great awakenings. Seyer Hehu Imran Rektaju Setepres Hehu Neterian Aset Hehu Aku Shepsu Ankemen Set Imped. There's another part here. I wonder if they all just go together. That would make it easier. Make sure that's not a typo. Page 37. Okay, no, that's not the translation. Oh, okay, yes it is. So I left out the first line. That's what's throwing me off. Okay, let me add that. Like I said, these are songwriting sessions because songwriting is my devotion. Not just the singing them, but the writing them. M-Z Sa. I knew something was off. M. Okay. Jeru, Q, Ka, Ab, Rimtaju, Satabres, Hehu. Yeah, that wasn't a typo. Oh, so Hehu is millions. Okay. Hehu is millions. Ren, Neter, Simpet. Simpat, Impat. Oh, and then it goes to the next song. All right, there we go. Alrighty then. Astu Aset Mzet Sa'in. Jadu Kakab Erze Ze Erhehu. I might try that one again later. Alrighty then. So then she decides she's going to devise a plan so she can become like Ra. So then I have this other song. It's actually a reggae song. And let me read the translation. But I'm going to play it on the harp. Thank you for staying with me all this time. I think I've seen some of you here before. Thank you, Dua. This is Teachings from the Temple of Aset, and I just have the scripture on a piece of paper for when I do my devotion. Verses 11 through 13, page 40 to 41, The Mysteries of Isis and Ra, Dr. AstMaataJi. So she's asking, instead of being like ignorant while on earth, why not be like Ra? That is, to become divine as he, a divinity as he. Looks like part of it's cut off. Let me read it from the book. Okay, part of it's cut off. I only need the comedic when I'm doing my devotion. I didn't notice the English was cut off. Okay. Divine as he, a divinity as he, by appropriating for myself the divine knowledge as he has, and then she thought, while on earth, even while alive, I could be a goddess. Aset thought deeply about the issue, concentration. Then more deeply, now going into the depths of her own heart meditation, and concluded it should be possible to accomplish this lofty goal by becoming wise as to the divine name of Ra, the exalted name, the saintly, virtuous, spiritual name of Ra. Okay. So here we have a scroll that we were presented that, well, I'll show that when I get to the next song. Never mind. Okay. I don't know if I've played this one right. I've never played this one on this harp. Tommy Ra, Tommy Ra, Tommy Ra, Arigata, 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 Tommy Ra, Arigata. Yes, indeed. I'm done trying to live like a human being. I want to be living like a god and goddess. I want to be like Ra, creating my creation every day with my words and my thoughts. Yep, that'll work. All right. Now I'm going to present the scroll. We were presented this scroll by Temple of Aset. It has an image of Aset with her wings outstretched before Ra after she's poisoned Ra. She was so determined to know the name of Ra because she wanted to be a god, a goddess, that she was willing to poison the creation to figure out, to learn the secret, to learn what is the deal, what's going on. So she poisoned Ra, she poisoned creation, brought Ra to his knees, and he didn't know what was wrong with him because he didn't create the thing that bit him. And that's when the gods and goddesses come running out. Mapa'u, what's going on? What's going on? They can't figure out what's going on. And so Aset comes like, oh, what's the matter? Oh, looks like you got bit by something. Oh, I wonder what happened to you. And then she like teases him. I thought you were some great, powerful God. How is it that you don't even know what bit you? You don't even know what's wrong with you. Some mighty God. Oh my goodness, there's some people here. Ucha. Dua, for tuning in. Thank you for being here. VOGFYI. That is a language I'm not familiar with. You could type it in again. I'm not sure what that is. I know FYI. Maybe they're telling me I need technical support. Let me check and see. I did a mic check earlier. She's like, my boo, she's like, some powerful God you are. You don't even know what's wrong with you. And he starts describing, he's got fever, he's shaking, he's, got the chills. And she's like, well, lucky for you, I have the antidote. She says, all you have to do is tell me your name. And he's like, I can't tell you my name. If I tell you my name, you'll know the essence of creation. None of the gods and goddesses have that information. I'm not going to tell you that. Just taking a minute to check my sound. Check 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Nope, sounds perfect. If you could just type in the chat what VOGFYI means, I'd appreciate it. I didn't even see that you had popped in. I've got to figure out a different way to do this. Anyway, so he's like, why do you need to know the secret of creation? Don't you enjoy life on earth? Don't you enjoy being a human? You get to eat. There's a beautiful nature, and I created this, I created that. He talks about all the things he created, and he says, I even created sex and pleasures. Don't you enjoy that? And she's like, yeah, but there's more to life. I want to be like you. I want to be a goddess. And she's like, if you don't tell me your name, you're going to die. So he agrees to tell his name. And it's a great story. You can get the book, Ra and Aset, by Dr. AstMaataJi. But the actual only way to study something like this is with your actual preceptor, Dr. AstMaataJi. And there is a class, Temple of Aset, which is where I learned all these teachings. And it completely changed my life. And that's why I'm doing this work, because it's just so amazing, the journey of Aset that we all go through. And so after everything's said and done, she made, she became one with Ra, learned the essence of Ra, became the goddess. And the poison came out of his body, and she made him pledge and vow that in the future, if this happens to anyone else, especially her son, that they can go through the same steps she did and attain enlightenment. As if they get, don't know who they are, or get poisoned by a snake, get poisoned by the illusion, whatever. So she left us her formulas, her instructions. And I offered this song on the first day of the winter solstice observance to Jed Pillar, because one of the instructions is Jed, and it's such powerful information. I just couldn't leave it out. So hopefully I have the translation here. Now this version of the song doesn't do it justice. It's supposed to be Afro-Cuban with percussion, drum, bass, guitar, me playing the matuno, do 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 do, and then this like slamming horn section. Think of Los Van Van or Tito Puente playing this music. But right now you're just gonna have me. So it's called Made in the Shade because Seba Ma said if you could follow these instructions, you'd have it made in the shade. So I called it Made in the Shade. The first step, Antek Bagag, relentless pursuit of Nehest. Hina means and. Anken, unending. Hina, Seifu, patience, endurance, even while sleeping. Hina, Majed, insisting with confidence and patience, perseverance, standing up, staying stood up regardless. Then let it go, let it go, let it go, Kakab, dispassionate detachment, let go of the world. Remember when the first part was, here comes Aset in the form of a beautiful woman. She had become frustrated with life on earth, dispassionate detachment. Then here's the magic part. Jedina Renake, tell me thy name divine. Jedina Renake, Jedina Ren is name, and what's the actual translation of Jedina Renake? I know it's tell me your name divine, but what is that actual? Speak. Okay, tell me. Yeah, speak. Because I know Jed from the Jed Pillar, but it's speak. Tell me your name divine. And then Uhau, trust, surrender. You have to trust the process. You can't be in control of it. Okay. Let me try with the other harp. The other harp is more like a bass. I don't know how the melody's going to go with this. This is always like an experiment. No, it's not like an experiment, it is an experiment. Oh, if you haven't seen the little harp I picked up in Edfu, outside the Temple of Heru. Antek begagena, Antek begagena, Anken hena, Sefu hena, Majet. Antek. Oh wait. Changed already. Antek begag hena, Anken hena, Aifu hena, Majet. Antek begag hena, Anken hena, Sefu hena, Majet. Oh, it's too slow. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's too slow. Yeah, I'm not feeling it on that one. We'll just go back to this one. I wasn't feeling it on that one. It's too slow. This is a little better. Antek begag hena, Anken hena, Sefu hena, Majet. Antek begag hena, Anken hena, Sefu hena, Majet. Let it go, let it go, let it go, kaka. Let it go, let go, let it go, kaka. Jedina Renake, tell me your name divine. What are we doing here? Let's see, I don't need to do that one again. Let's have a little bit more about Goddess Aset. In her name, Rekhat, Aset is the Lady of Wisdom, or the embodiment of wisdom, and also represents Rekhat, or wisdom. By the way, this is from the Goddess book, page 62. She is the patroness of all Rek, or sages. Aset represents the kind of wisdom which transcends all intellectual knowledge. She is at the same time the ultimate reality, Amentet, behind creation, as well as the Rek, knowledge and understanding of that creation. Thus it is said that she veils herself and that no man has unveiled her. The wisdom of creation, or knowing Aset in her full essence, means becoming one with her in consciousness. When this unity occurs, one transcends ordinary human consciousness, so in this sense, no worldly human can discover her. The wisdom of Aset refers to that profound understanding of the essence of the divine, which is devoid of any kind of ignorance or illusion in reference to the transcendental self. This wisdom is the intuitional realization which comes from pondering the nature of the divine, and it transcends scholarly knowledge. Pondering implies repeated reflection and meditation on the divine, trying with sincerity and humility to understand and become one with the divine by discovering a deeper basis to one's personality. So that reminds me, I guess I'm about to say it now. Oh, there's another song. Here it is. The three aspects of the Temple of Aset, of studying with Aset, is listening to the teachings, which we're doing now, when I was reading the teachings, meditating on the teachings, and the music is a form of meditation, it's a musical meditation, and then reflection on the teachings. So listening, reflecting, and meditating on the teachings are the three steps to Aset's spiritual practice. And I'm going to read that one. And then the last. Oh, and this is good. This is page 79 from the same book. In the teachings of the Temple of Aset, a devotee of Aset is described as one who ponders over the sacred teachings, over the sacred matters, and seeks therein for the hidden truth. It is not enough to just hear the ancient myths or to understand them at an intellectual level. The aspirant must go deep within him herself to discover the subtle ideas being conveyed. Plutarch describes the character of an initiate of Aset as, he or she alone is a true servant or follower of this goddess who, after has heard and has made acquainted in a proper manner, initiated into the philosophy, with the preceptor, with the history of the actions of these gods, searches into the hidden truths which lie concealed under them, and examines the whole by the dictates of reason and philosophy. Nor indeed ought such an examination to be looked on as unnecessary, while there are so many ignorant of the true reason, even of the most ordinary rites observed by the Egyptian priests, such as their shavings and wearing linen garments. Some indeed there are who never trouble themselves to think at all about these matters, while others rest satisfied with the most superficial accounts of them. They pay a peculiar veneration to the sheep. Therefore, they think it their duty not only to abstain from eating flesh, but likewise from wearing its wool. They are continually mourning for their gods, therefore they shave themselves. Okay, so obviously there's different levels of this. Some people are vegetarian or vegan. Some people keep their hairs shaven, their heads shaven. Some people don't even wear wool clothing. But I think it's really the intention and the degree of your RU that determines. Ucha, do it for being here. You all are speaking a language I am not familiar with. So I appreciate you being here. Dua Patrick for being here. All right. Where are we with the program? I guess we could do this one. This is another one that I've never heard before or sung. And this is at the end of the scripture where she says, oh, I'm going to have to run out of the room. Not far. This is at the end, the last page of the scriptures. Aset provides instructions for anyone wishing to follow this path by a ritual that includes uttering the words of power she used with the intent, feeling, relentless intensity she applied, all to be done in front of special images. And I'm offering these teachings from the book I'm sure some of you are already on your spiritual journey. However, if you do decide that you want to take this journey, you can start off by getting the book and then take the classes at Kemet University. I wouldn't recommend doing this on your own. I'm here to let you know that it exists and you can pursue it. I'm not a preceptor. And it helps me remember too. So here's the translation. Mistress of the gods and goddesses, she who is the knower of Ra's own divine name, she instructs that these words of this teaching are to be spoken over an image of the god Temu, along with an image of Heru, the proclaimer, and also over an image of the glorious extolled goddess Aset, together with an image of Heru. And Dr. Ashby actually got some. Let me get it. To have it out already. Got some posters made, and then also these beautiful mats. You can use them as a blanket or a wall hanging. I guess you can't see the whole thing, but he has the whole scripture, or not the whole scripture, maybe it is, on this mat. It's got images of Aset and Ra and Heru and offerings. It's pretty amazing. And you can get those at EgyptianYoga.com. So let's try this one with this Heru harp. It's just the instructions that I just, I think this will be better because I don't already know the melody. For ones, I already know the melody. The other one doesn't always work. Hemut Neteru Rekhat Emrenef Jezeh Jeru Metu. No, that's definitely a typo. Okay, Jedu. It's just Jed Medu, yeah. Jedu. Jed Medu. Here to Im Temu. Enaheru. Hekenim. Aset. Chut. Heru. Okay. I knew there was something wrong with that. Let's start again. Hemut Neteru Rekhat Emrenef Jezeb Jed Medu Hertu Entemu Henaheru Hekenu Asetut Heru Asetut Heru Asetut Heru Asetut Heru Hemut Neteru Rekhat Imrenef Jezeb Jed Medu Hertu Entemu Henu Heru Hakenu Asetut Heru Asetut Heru Asetut Heru Asetut Heru. One more time. Hemut Neteru Rekhat Imren Epchazet Ted Medu Hetu Entemu Hina Heru Hekenu Asetu Teru 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 Asetu Teru. Hey, I like that one. Never. All right, since I'm not quite done, I'm going to sign out of this one and sign back in. Okay. Okay. I always have such a good feeling when I'm doing these programs. I hope you are too. It's my intention. I have really good feelings from doing these programs. Okay. About 10 minutes. All right, I've got 3 to go. Page 86. Tree of Life. Oh, that's right. There was something here I said I was going to read at the end. There we go with that crazy cursor. Oh, no wonder. Ah, come back. There we go. Slow. No, it's not going to happen. Okay. Page 85, not 65. Try this. Nope, not happening today. Okay. We'll just go on with what we already have. So next, I'd like to offer a song that I wrote for Aset. It's not based on any teachings, just based on my devotion. And I wrote part of it when I was here in the States, and then the second half came while I was in Kemet. Now this is an instrument I don't usually play. I'm going to try it today. think it's an Incade, made by the same Louis Afrifa, who made my Sepriwa. Let me just get the screen back in case anyone has questions. It doesn't really have a lot of I just haven't gotten used to it. I don't think I'm going to do it. If I tighten it. It's only got one string. If I tighten it. Yeah. Yeah, that's better. Well, just so you know, I am working on it. I don't have it down. But one of these days. One of these days I'll surprise you. But that's not today. Oh, that's better. Nah. But I'm working on it. Stick with this. This is my favorite anyway. I have not played this on the harp before. I've just played it with the sistrum. Of divine. No, that's not right. Goddess of divine intuition, mother of wisdom. Aset, I have come here to adore you, to become one with you. Aset, seeking your loving guidance and direction, awaiting your mystical instruction. Wanting only to please you, never leave or forsake you. Aset. Went too fast. to become one with you. You are Aset, seeking your loving guidance and direction, awaiting your mystical instructions. You are Aset, wanting only to please you, never leave or forsake you. Do Aset, do Aset, do Aset, do Aset, do Aset. Alright, one's coming along. It's the first time I've played it on the harp. I usually play it on the sistrum. I've never been brave enough. Right. It's all been never. Okay. How do I remember this one? Yeah, I remember this one. Okay, the next song, there's just two more. The next one is a chant by Dr. Maud Ashby, say by Ma. Translation. I know it, but I'm going to get the translation. It's not in this book, is it? I think I took it out. I took it out. It's got to be in this one. Oh, no, it's the last one. Okay, one more time. If it's not here, then I'll just have to wing the translation. Okay, I don't have the translation, so I'm not going to offer it. Let's save it for another time. So we're just going to have the closing chant now. This one is above Aset. The blood of Isis, which is the seat of her life power. This is the words of power of Isis. This is the instrument of her power. This is the shining spirit divinity of Isis, the essence of her divinity. Translated by Dr. Maud Ashby for the 2018 Neterian Conference, SEMA Institute of Yoga. Oh, I forgot to show some of the altar items. Again, I had this beautiful vase representing the heart. And beautiful shining star of Aset. Piece of carnelian, which is what this chant coming up is about, the carnelian, the blood of Isis. And that beautiful ankh that's inscribed with a healing chant of Aset. They blessed it at the Temple of Aset. And I also have one of my favorite images of the goddess. Lean posture, and here's her symbol, the throne of Aset, throne of Isis. And down here's her name, a chromatic wren, with the throne of Aset. I don't know what happened to that translation. Senefu and Aset, Heko and Aset, Aku and Aset, Senefu and Aset, Heko and Aset, Aku and Aset. Senefu and Aset, Heko and Aset, Aku and Aset. Senefu and Aset, Heko and Aset, Aku and Aset. Senefu and Aset, Heko and Aset, Aku and Aset, Aku and Aset. Senefu and Aset, Heko and Aset, Aku and Aset, Aku and Aset, Aku and Aset. Hatap. Dua Aset, Nupu Aset. Do it to those of you for tuning in. It means a great deal to me. Your presence is a gift. And for those of you on Melanated People, I apologize. I started on a different platform and then I switched over to this one. But the replay will be posted here, and you can also catch it on YouTube. But I'll be sticking with the Melanated People, not the other one. It was a flip. And I'll be back tomorrow at 6 a.m. for another episode of the Rekhat Ushet, to worship of the goddess, the Neterian Holy Days, the Festival of Lights, the wisdom teachings of the goddess. And this is the AstMaataJi Temple of Divine Light, Healing, and Sweet Sounds. And we're observing these holidays with these transmissions of ancient African adorations. Looks like I have an antenna. There we go. And so tomorrow at 6 a.m. we'll be here for the observance of Goddess Nebuhet, who's not spoken about very much. And then on the 25th at 6 a.m. it'll be honoring Heru, the birthday of Heru, the child of Aset. And then on the 26th, the final day of this festival, worship of the goddess, the procession of the goddess. And the goddesses that we weren't invoking previously we'll deal with on the 26th. Again, my name is Arit Neteres Maati, aka Tachia Amet. And I'm so grateful for your presence. And if you want more information on the calendar, it's a perfect time to order your new calendar, because we're starting the new Western calendar year on December 31st. Oh, goodness. January. So when you get your calendar, it'll say the year 2022, 38,788, because The Kemetic calendar starts over again in July with the rising of the Nile. So it'll say 38,788, and then in July it'll switch to 38,789. You can get your calendar from templeofamun.com. It contains the Neterian holy days as well as the suns and moons and sun solstices, equinoxes, and it has some of the eclipses on there. And if you want to follow the calendar, the celestial calendar with Kemetic chants, chimes and chants, you go to the Kimetones YouTube channel for those. But I do make musical offerings for the new moon, full moon, the solstices, equinoxes, eclipses, and retrogrades with Kemetic chants. If you want more information on the wisdom teachings of ancient Kemet, go to EgyptianYoga.com, where you'll be able to purchase books like these. And the goddess, the mystery of Ra and Aset, the goddess book. And then he also has copies of the Purdim Haru. He has the Temple of the Soul. And when they put on conferences, he translates the scriptures, and then you can get the book. But I highly recommend studying with a preceptor to really take you through the journey of spiritual enlightenment. If you want to know more about my music, tachia.com. You can catch the replays for these live transmissions at YouTube, my YouTube channel. And if you want to know more about the wellness product services, like these pinhole glasses that force your eyes to focus, thereby making them stronger, instead of magnifying what you look at, which makes your vision weaker, go to lightbeingwellness.com/shop. And that's all for now. If you enjoy these presentations, you can make a donation to AstMaataJi Temple of Divine Light Healing and Sweet Sounds at Cash App, $Amet El Ma'at, or paypal.me/TachiaAmet. And that's all I have for you today. If you have any questions or comments, just put them in the comment box or email me at, what can you email me at? So many addresses. AstMaataJi at gmail.com, AstMaataJi or TachiaAmet@gmail.com. All right. Well, some of you are still on here. I just thank you. What else could I do? I wish I had the translation. Maybe he has it right here. Sometimes he has them at the back. Yeah, I think it is in here. Oh. I thought it was in here. I'm pretty sure it is. I just don't see it. Oh yeah, there it is. I found it. Okay. Here's the translation of the last song I'm going to offer for today. This is a song that Sebai Ma wrote to the goddess. And the goddess of wisdom, whose words of power resurrected a star and also had the intensity to stop time and call the spirit down to earth to resurrect her son Haru. If a spiritual aspirant learns the words of power of goddess Aset, he or she will attain the hast or resurrection, spiritual enlightenment. Now, let's stop for a minute there. When you study with Sebai, you realize that the goal in life is enlightenment, not resurrection, like coming back to live again. It'd be resurrection of the soul in enlightenment, in eternity. So let's be clear. The goal of this journey is to live in such a way so we don't have to resurrect back in human form. So here's the translation. Aku, Aku, glory, glory. AstMaataJi, homage to the mistress queen of the land. Artia Mhekau, goddess great in words of power. Dua Aset Netrita Aset, adorations to Aset, great goddess Aset. Dua Aset Mut Heru, adorations to Aset, mother of Heru. Adorations to Aset, who resurrected Asar. Dua Aset Sehu Heru, adorations to Aset, spiritual preceptor of Heru, teacher of Heru. Dua Aset Neru Aset, adorations to Aset, victorious Aset. Oh, I'm so glad I thought to find those lyrics. Which harp should I use? Yeah, this is it. It's a simple one. Aku, 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 aku. Glory, glory. Glory, glory. AstMaataJi. AstMaataJi. Artia Mhekau. Artia Mhekau. Dua Aset Netrita Aset. Dua Aset Netrita Aset. Dua Aset Mut Heru. Dua Aset Mut Heru. Dua Aset Nehest Asar. Dua Aset Nehest Asar. Dua Aset Nehu. Dua Aset Sehu Heru. Dua Aset Neru Aset. Dua Aset Neru Aset. Okay, for those of you who are so inclined, you can call and respond. Just repeat what I'm singing. I'm going to sing it twice, and the second time you can sing it too. Aku, 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 aku. Glory, glory. Glory, glory. AstMaataJi. Dua Aset Muteru. Dua Aset Nehas the Sar. Dua Aset Nehas the Sar. Dua Aset Sehu Heru. Dua Aset Sehu Heru. Dua Aset Neru Aset. Dua Aset Neru Aset. Aku aku. Aku aku. Glory, glory. Glory, glory. Alright, Dua Aset. Neterian Aset, the great goddess. Okay, well, Dua, Nefer, Mer for being here for this long journey. And I'll be back here tomorrow at 6 a.m. for Adorations to Goddess Neferhet. And I will be posting the highlights from the other two sessions and a reminder about the one tomorrow. Hatap. Dua Hatap. And for those of you on Telegram, there's a part 1 and this is part 2. I need some magic fingers to be able to push the buttons the right way. Uh-oh. Oh, Ashe. Yeah, I can tell you what Ashe means. It's spelled two different ways. It's spelled A-S-E or A-X-E. I've never seen it spelled A-S-H-E. It's from the Yoruba tradition. Oops. And it means, and so it is. It's a way to end prayers, to end a prayer or an affirmation. You want to affirm it. And in the Neterian tradition, it's Hatap, we would just say peace, Hatap, because Hatap means the end of duality, and that's what we want. However, it is quite common or even normal in the spiritual world to just hear someone shout out, Ashe, Ashe, like bring in more power, bring in the ancestors. So I don't know if you're still on here, Kristen, but I hope that answered your question. Yeah, I think you are still on here, 7:45. Okay, Dua. Okay, yeah, it can be spelled Ashe, S-H-E, yeah. Okay, Hatap, Dua. So I'll be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. I hope this is a good time for you. I don't know what time zone you're in. This is the time that works for me. So if you have another time that would be more convenient, just type it in. I noticed that on YouTube, people don't come in until like around 7. So I'm not sure, maybe you all are on the West Coast. Because I know when I lived on the West Coast, it was kind of tough to make those 6 a.m. calls. Okay. Hatap. Dua Aset.